All right, so Taylor Gray of Star Wars Rebel fame, the man, the myth, the phenomena, the main character starring Ezra Bridger himself. Thank you, sir, for being here. We really appreciate you taking the time here on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
Oh, thank you guys for having me. I'm stoked to chat some Star Wars. It's a beautiful day, and it'll be a good time.
All right, so let's get right down to it, and I want you to talk a little bit about the evolution of the Ezra character. This is a character who started out as a street rat. Essentially, that's what he was called in the pilot episode. But now he is definitely not that. He's rocking the crew cut. He's got the green saber. He's dueling with Sith Lords from the movies. So talk about his evolution. Who is he now as opposed to where he came from?
Ezra has been such a fun character to play for that reason alone. Just the fact that we've been able to grow him over the seasons. And he has truly evolved from this young, as we were calling it, street rat kid who had this innate ability, which is the Force, but it was kind of unbridled and he didn't know how to use it. And then joining forces with the Ghost crew, he learned through Kanan, which is pretty cool. And yeah, now, I mean, he's getting his first lightsaber busted up by Darth Vader. That's just the coolest thing to ever happen, to get into a duel with Darth Vader, even though completely unmatched. And now in season 3, you're right, he's grown even more. The scary thing is that now that he's such this force, no pun intended, he is being pulled by both sides. I mean, the whole storyline with Maul, we see that Ezra has these tendencies to possibly waver the other way, and that's going to be the test through season 3 to see what ends up happening with him as he keeps growing in his powers and ability. And the responsibility is weighing on him now that Kanan is, not that he's less capable, but he can't see. So we now need someone to step up. And Ezra is kind of ready for that position and becomes more ready through the experience of just doing it.
Now, I'm not asking you to violate any kind of non-disclosure agreement or betray any trust just in case Kathleen Kennedy is listening to this show. But you mentioned how he's kind of swaying back and forth between the light and the dark. Have you ever heard the theory that Ezra is Snoke from The Force Awakens?
Oh, I've heard the theory. We have been on panels, and Dave Filoni's been seated right next to me, and people have asked, and he's like kicking me under the table. And there is no answer for that. I can't say yes or no, nor do I even know. Maybe.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I just kind of figure y'all have to have a little chuckle at that expense. I mean,
oh yeah, it's funny.
Yeah, I mean, Pablo has come out and said, he's a whole new character, and I heard from somebody on the set that it was all JJ's idea to come up with Snoke. So I honestly, personally, truly don't believe there is a connection to Ezra, but I figure you yourself, you got to be chuckling just a little bit. Oh my God, they're talking about me as Snoke. I can't believe this.
Yeah, it's pretty funny because when the new movie came out, that was when I first started seeing these theories, and there were even like some videos explaining it all. And me being just somebody who will listen to anything, I watched one of the videos and I was like, "Whoa, it's believable the way they put that together." But it is funny, and there's so many theories. I mean, for every character on our show, it's like, oh, they're related to this person through this and that, and I mean, I don't know. Star Wars is great about tying everything together, though, so we'll see what happens.
Now, so that's the evolution of Ezra from season 1 through season 3 now. But what about your evolution? I mean, it wasn't too long ago you were shooting hoops with Kevin Durant on set, and now you're working with Star Wars Legends. You're there with Dave Filoni. You're there with Freddie Prinze Jr. What about your evolution?
My personal evolution has been fun. I mean, it just seems like everything happens at the right time. The right things come up. I mean, when I did Thunderstruck, which you were just talking about with Kevin Durant, I was out of high school and I played basketball growing up, and it was sad because I was working on another show through high school, so I wasn't able to play on my high school team all 4 years. But then, lo and behold, that movie comes out and I get to do that. And I mean, I kind of closed up that whole chapter of what basketball was for me in my life. And then as I'm moving forward in acting and learning about story and mythology and how to tell stories through film, sure enough, Star Wars comes along, which is the best, and Dave Filoni being the best storyteller. He just knows all mythology, and just having these talks with him has been so fun behind the scenes of recording the show, just learning about where all these characters in Star Wars come from, what they represent, how it parallels Greek mythology, all these old tales and folklore. It's amazing to be a part of that now and learn from doing it, and also talking to, like you said, Dave Filoni, who is a legend and is creating such great content and is going to for a long time.
And I also have to wonder a little bit about Kevin Durant clearly following you out to California now.
Right? He's following me out here to Cali. I mean, he was stationed out in Oklahoma. It was funny. He did something on the, what was it, Any Given Wednesday with Bill Simmons, and they were like, hey, I got to ask, have you stayed in touch with the kid who you traded powers with? And he goes, yeah, unfortunately, no. I remember we, stayed in contact for about 2 months after the movie came out, and then no more. But maybe he's coming back out to California to, rekindle that that flame.
All right, so we're going to see you courtside at a Warriors game soon. I can almost guarantee it.
Oh, yeah, would love that. Let's put that one out into the universe.
So you're also working on something else besides Rebels. I'm hearing rumors and little Minox are buzzing in my ear talking about Strange Ones. What is this series?
That is a series we've shot the pilot for. We haven't shot too much more since then, but that's a cool show. It's like a funky. How would you describe it? It's like a thriller type of show that has Thomas Ian Nicholas, who I had worked with on a film a couple years ago, Walk Before Mickey, and he's the lead of that. So when more information comes out about that, I'll be obviously talking about that some more.
All right, cool. Well, we'll certainly be looking forward to hearing about it. I saw it in your IMDb page, and I'm seeing a couple of websites posting. I'm like, okay, I'm kind of intrigued now. Always interested on that one. So you're playing a hero, the hero in one of the greatest franchises of all time. But is that really your dream role? Have you ever wanted to try your hand at being a villain or a rogue type character, or even a bartender or something? What would you really like to play?
Oh, dude, are you kidding? Those would be dreams. I've always thought it would be cool to play a soldier, be like a period piece in a war, or who knows? I mean, hopefully we never go into another big war again, but like a World War II type of soldier. I think that would be very cool. And also, I've always thought playing a real person, someone who was actually like a real person in history. And I got to do that with Walk Before Mickey, and it was fun, but I would like to dive into that more and play some big, like a Salvador Dali, someone like that. I just think that would be a dream role to play.
So Andrew Garfield, you got to be pretty jealous of him right now, considering that he is playing a soldier, a common person, a man of the earth, really, in the new movie Hacksaw Ridge.
Yeah, that was everything I just said together as one. Real person, soldier, period piece. I mean, that is the coolest thing. I almost saw it yesterday. I'm gonna have to see it this week. I've heard nothing but rave reviews about it. But yeah, that dude's the man. And he played Spider-Man, which that's the coolest.
Well, actually, it's kind of funny you mentioned that, because, let's see, Disney owns Lucasfilm, which you're a part of, and Marvel, which you just referenced Spider-Man. If you ever got the call from Kevin Feige over at Marvel Studios, and they said, hey, why don't you come work for us for a little bit, which character would you love? It could be voice acting, or it could be live on set, but who do you want to be as a Marvel character?
Oh, I mean, live on set, that's the dream. I mean, Spider-Man would be the one, and they recast it very recently, and I actually had read for it, along with the thousands of other young actors that they had read. I mean, that would be the coolest, to be Spider-Man, flying through New York, slinging webs. That's pretty awesome. But now, with how many Marvel characters there's so many cool ones that have these interesting little things. But, I mean, Spider-Man, since I was young, has always been a favorite of mine, from Tobey Maguire to Andrew Garfield, and now what's his name?
Tom Holland.
Mm-hmm. Yep, should be really cool, man.
Plus, Spider-Man always gets the redheads, so
always gets the redhead.
So let's bring back to Rebels here for a second. But I like to keep our interviews fun and light, and I mean, I'm not looking for a scoop. I never do. I just want to have a lot of fun here, and so let's throw you a curveball. Let's say you walk into the studio one day, and there's Dave Filoni, and with a hat and all, and he says, "Tell you what, Ezra, you're going to read this script today, and you get to choose between anybody else that's currently on cast for Star Wars Rebels. You can read for Thrawn, you can read for Kanan, you can read for Sabine or Zeb if you wanted to. Who are you going to pick? Who do you want to read for a day?"
That is an awesome question that no one really. And I will give you a little scoop kind of fun fact about it is, so when we record, every now and then someone can't make it. We record as a group and the whole cast is in there, but every now and then someone can't make it. And maybe they have a few lines and they're off working somewhere and they're not there, but they're in the scene. Well, while all the other actors in there, we're like, can someone fill in for whoever's X, for whoever's missing? So we've all taken turns playing each other's characters, and being actors and having fun, and it's a loose group, we go for it. We don't just like read it in a monotone voice. We try our best impressions, and there are some amazing crossovers of people doing other characters. And I will say Freddie does a pretty mean Ryder Azadi. He kills that one. So that's a fun one. I mean, I would have some fun with Chopper. We're always joking around with that. Zeb's got a pretty cool one. But my favorite character is actually becoming Bendu. So I don't even know how I would do that voice because that's a lot to live up to. But I think if you gave me an option, I would probably say Bendu.
Oh, it's a tremendous character. And I love how they introduced him just in this season. Kind of just a curveball that just came right out of nowhere for this character. But I agree with you. It's a remarkable character. It's the characters who stand out to you are the ones that stick in your memory, the ones that have those little quirks or that are just massive on the screen. And I think right now there is nobody more massive than Bendu on the screen. So,
yeah.
Alrighty, and we're kind of wrapping things up here because we're coming up on our break. But if you could say anything to the fans right now, whether it's about the Force Awakens hysteria or the upcoming Rogue One movie, or even about their hopes for a certain character or a certain character duel in a certain Star Wars TV show.
The number one thing would be just thanks. Thank you for watching and being so involved. It's said all the time that Star Wars fans are the best fans ever. That really is. And it's fun that fans, I mean, I'm a fan. We're all fans of it, that we throw out these theories and pay such close attention and try and think along with the shows and the movies. And I think that's so special and gets our imaginations going. And I'm telling fans as well, I'm sitting right next to you guys ready for Rogue One. I can't wait to jump in and have some fun watching the next movie because The Force Awakens was unbelievable.
Man, and here I was waiting for you to say that Ahsoka was Snoke. That's what I was waiting for right there.
Okay, well, I didn't know the wording of that question. That would be a really fun.
Yes, Ashley Eckstein this whole time was Snoke. Who knew?
Real curveball.
Okay, all right. Well, Taylor Gray, thank you for taking the time out of the day for this interview. We appreciate you stopping by here on 9:30 a.m. The Answer with Get Your Geek On.
Awesome. Thank you so much, David. Thanks for having me.